I know this producer, he live on Thornton Street. Yo, I know this producer, he live on Thornton Street, eating his cereal. Yes, people, what is going down? It's DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to the live. Let me just, yeah, the mic's working. That's all cool and that is all gravy. Welcome back to another stream. If you didn't watch yesterday's stream, then I highly recommend that you do go back and watch that, because we went on a little bit of a sampling rampage. So, if you haven't watched the first stream, then like I say, go back and watch it, and I'm about to give you obviously like the spoiler alert of kind of what happened in the first stream. So what we kind of did yesterday was we went on like this mega sampling rampage. So I was researching yesterday afternoon into a classic song titled Love Story by Leo and Bushwhacker, that I believe released in either 2002 or 2004. And they took some samples from some absolutely crazy tracks, and I wanted to try and see if I could redo a version of that track. So I sort of started looking into where the samples of that track came from and how they sort of got the samples to put their track together, looking on whosampled.com, and a video where a guy explains about some of the samples that was used in the track. And it was a very interesting sort of find, and it was a very interesting sort of read stroke watch. So the video told me about so many samples that the website didn't for some reason tell you about, and then the website told me about samples that the video didn't even tell me about. So that was obviously like a crazy thing within itself. So it was like one website was giving me like so many samples, and then the video was giving me like so many of the other samples, and it was crazy. So Leo and Bushwhacker, DJ duos, they have DJ'd solo as well. They've got their own sort of like solo careers, but they got together as Leo and Bushwhacker, and their song Love Story was their biggest track. It was one of their biggest tracks that they had ever written together. It absolutely skyrocketed when it came out, and then there was a bootleg version made with the Kings of Tomorrow finally vocals that were added, that just boosted the track even higher, and it just gave a completely different feel on the track as well. And I've got the bootleg version on vinyl right next to me, actually. So we went on a bit of a sampling mission, and I decided that I wanted to redo a version of this track. So we did like a stream, and we located all of the samples and where all of the samples came from, and we tried to get them ourselves, and we tried to put them into a track itself. So in yesterday's stream, we got as far as gathering up all the samples, and then I just had a little bit of a play around with some of the samples in FL Studio just to see if I thought that the track would work. And then I did stay in the stream yesterday that we was going to kind of like use an FLP that's got like a really good, it's just got like a really good level to it, and like all the sounds are leveled out really nicely, that we can just change the sounds and it sounds really good. And I was just sort of doing it for quickness on the stream, so we could like really put this together as well, and really see this track come together. So obviously, like I said, this was an FLP, so there was a complete track here, and a lot of this section here, and like all of this is like not done. So all of this section here, but everything sort of up to here. So where this vocal ends here, this is kind of more or less everything that I've done sort of with the track. So everything, all of this like first section of the track has now been built like into a bounce tune. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a play of what I did with the samples and how I utilized the samples. So there's one sample, it's a key sample in the original Love Story, and I'd really hate to like have to get rid of it, but it doesn't sound perfect. There's like there's something in the background of the sound, and it kind of just doesn't sound too good on this version of the track. So what I might have to do is see if I can put this like little sample through like a vocal remover and just see if I can like clean it up, because it's quite bad. It's almost kind of like, you know, where you've got someone talking and then someone makes like a bang in the background and it picks up the bang. That's kind of what it is. So if there's a way I can get rid of that like little bang in the background, it would be like a really cool thing. So maybe like a vocal remover.org or something might do it. Who knows? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play you where we're up to so far, and then we'll talk a little bit more, and we'll do a little bit more to the track as well. So have a listen.
The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level. The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level. The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level. The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level.
Time marches on, never ending. Time keeps its own time. Here we stand at beginning, and in goes passing us by. And I can't dream for us all. I hope I'm in a better state when here and now crumbles and falls, and you make the world collide. I knew you'd come knocking one day, unannounced like a thief in the night. So tell me, how do you do? Finally I meet you. You don't know what I've been through. Waiting and wondering about you. I had a dream I crippled and jumped at you, and now I know paradise. So tell me, how do you do? Finally I meet you. So tell me, how do you do? Finally I meet you.
So there we go, guys. That is what we've done with the track sort of up to now. So as you can obviously tell, it just, to me, it sounds really good. It's like proper, you know, when you kind of have an idea, but then you kind of like, you want to do your idea, but at the same time you self doubt, like you self doubt your idea, because obviously, you know, you just think, oh, it's going to be an hard one to do. And then it just turns out better than you imagine. That's kind of what's happened. So there's a couple of things that you'll notice with my version. So the first one, being the main one, is I've actually decided to go for a lead sound instead of a piano. And the reason for that is I just couldn't find a nice piano sound. Nothing that sounded like the original, and it just really did not fit the style of this track. So I just thought, if I go in with a lead sound that still plays the same notes that, you know, the piano plays, but it's just a lead sound instead of a piano sound, it'd go really good. The second thing was I had like a really nice sort of like breakdown bass, but in the original Love Story, the bass almost sounds more like a bass guitar sound. So I decided that alongside the sort of like nice bass that I had, which was this one, which I accidentally knocked it and changed the sound of it, and I managed to find something else quite nice. So this sounds like this. So that sounds nice in itself, but then I decided to add like this sort of like bass guitar sound that so that is obviously kind of where we sort of go with that, and that creates that kind of like like bass guitar. And then what I've done is I've automated it, so when the breakdown comes in, everything just nicely fades in. I had it before, and it was almost like this like bass guitar just came straight in, and it just sounded too much like coming straight in. So just having that little bit of a fade just really made it sound like a whole lot nicer. And then just having like this one also fade in as well, it just gave that real nice, because you've got the like bongo drums here.
The following tone is a reference
I wanted to add these in.
recorded at our operating level. The following tone is a reference tone recorded at our operating level.
And then obviously that just fades in, but it fades in with the lead as well. And then the lead like really nicely comes in and sounds really good as well. And then once everything sort of not fully comes in, but to a nice level, that's when I then decided, you know, that's where the vocal starts to come in for the Kings of Tomorrow finally, which is really good. So the sample that I wasn't too keen on was actually this one here. So if I play it on its own, you'll hear like the background noise of it.
Next song I'd like to do. Next song I'd like to do. Next song I'd like to do.
It's just like there's something in the background, and I'm just not that keen on it. Like, but it doesn't sound like too bad. And then,
The following
but it sounds a little bit.
Next song I'd like to do.
So what I think I'm gonna do is, if I can do it, I think I need to pitch it down just a slight bit more. Let's have a.
Next song I'd like to do. 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 Next song I'd like to do.
Do you know what? I actually prefer that now. I think I could probably pitch it a little bit more as well. About there, maybe.
Next song I'd like to do. Next song I'd like to do. Next song I'd like to do. Next song I'd like to do.
I'm wondering if I actually could. see. Actually, just by sort of getting rid of them, it actually kind of takes up some of that badness. To be fair, I put them in and I didn't really play with them. I'll be honest, because I actually didn't think, but that actually doesn't sound too bad. And then I'll just do the same here as well. So it just, and then I think there was, oh no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it for them at the moment. And then I did this the following tone, which I think they sound all right. They sound really good. Another little thing I did as well is just before the donk starts, I added like this little section here where it just goes, and it just goes on the breakdown like this on the little switch before the bass comes in, like. So it just does that, and then like the full power of the bass comes in, and then. Yeah, so that sample's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was just by obviously trimming that little bit at the end. So yeah, and then like I say, we've got that the following tone.
The following tone is a reference tone.
So it's a reference tone. I like it. I think it just adds something a little bit different to the bounce track as well. With it being a bounce track, it gives it that something a little bit different, and I just really like the sound of it. And some of these samples, they're just making the bounce track sound different, like having the bongo drums here. It's just going a little bit out of the ordinary to what you'd normally have in a bounce track. Like this is like quite different from a bounce track. This section here.
The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level. The following tone.
But it just makes it unique, like I say, and obviously unique is that's all what I'm obviously down for when it comes to stuff like that. And then obviously the drop, it just comes into the full bass. Like that. And yeah, what can I say there? So there's all that. And then, like I say, the chorus comes in. So the actual Kings of Tomorrow finally, there's to me, it was sung like really weirdly. So normally in like a track you'd have like a verse, and then you'd have a chorus, and then you'd have like a verse. Well, in the finally, for whatever bizarre reason, there was a verse, then there was a little like break with no vocals, then there was a verse, and then there was a chorus. And I kind of liked that in the original. I kind of thought like that actually isn't like a bad idea. But for a bounce track, it just didn't. I just thought it would have, just wouldn't have been as good. So I decided to split them and add like the chorus, and then go for like the second verse, which I haven't put that bit in yet. So that is like just down here for now, but it's gonna come like somewhere, obviously after here. It's going to come somewhere, and it should hopefully sound really good, obviously, once it does. So we'll have to see in that sense, like what happens. But it's really good in that sense. So there's the chorus. Look, so the chorus is obviously here.
So tell me, how do you do? Finally, I need you. You don't know what I've been through. Waiting and wondering about you. I had a dream, a trip, but ended up at you. And now I know paradise. So tell me, how do you do? Finally, I need you.
And then we're gonna like have a little bit of a break there, and I think I'm gonna go back into the next song I'd like to do. So that like little sample that we had, obviously here. So I think what I'm gonna do essentially is so everything that I've kind of just done, So if we go like where if we go like I'm thinking if we go like here. So I'm thinking like that we're gonna take this section here, just this section here, um, like this full section here, and then what we're gonna do is probably go back to the bongo drums again. But I'm gonna skip this section out here, so I'm gonna skip this. But I'm gonna have this section, and then we'll go back to this, and then we'll come back into like the same breakdown. But then what we'll do is we'll have the second verse instead of the first verse. So we'll kind of copy what we've just done, but we'll like add the different vocals. And I think, like, I'm not certain, but I think it'll work quite well. I'm hoping it will. That's the aim. So what I'm gonna do is we can start doing this now. So I'm gonna put a massive split up here. So we're kind of like splitting, so we can kind of take all of this out. But we only want to take it out to an extent. So because I want to keep this bit. I want to keep this bit. So I'm going to make the cut there, and then just essentially everything from from the specific point where I've just made the two cuts. I've just like literally done the two cuts. But I don't where to be fair, I think did I yeah the cut I didn't cut down here. So if I just cut down here, which it shouldn't be too problematic because like everything else ends anyway. But yeah, so like this is gonna go, so that's gonna go, and all of this needs to go like there, and then where are we? So if I just have a look to obviously like where we are, so uh, so that's gonna disappear for now. So is that. So is that. So I'm just gonna sort of right up until where this is. So all of this is gonna go. So like everything here, I'm gonna get rid. I'm gonna like I want to get rid of it all, and kind of like now I'm going the wrong way. Look. So I'm gonna put that back there because I just got rid of it by accident. But essentially everything here is going to vanish, so we're going to delete it all, and then we're going to do like one big copy and paste, and hopefully it'll work, and we'll have like no snags with it. But knowing me, when it comes to like copy and pasting, knowing me, I'll end up doing something wrong because I always do. I always end up getting something wrong. So, right. So we get rid of all of that, and then we get rid of all of this as well. So that all needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go. So everything sort of up to here where we sort of broke off. Right. So if and then I'll take that grey one to there. That's going to go there like that. We can probably keep them in. So, right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to separate another section. So, if I no, it'll actually be here, won't it? Yeah, so it'll actually be there. And then um and then there as well. There we go. Right, so this is gonna be quite. This is gonna be the tricky part. So what I'm gonna do is Oh, I also didn't cut here, did I? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to put the mic down while I do this because it's quite hard because it's the way I have to record because I haven't got I haven't got a mic stand for that fits on a desk, so um, I have to sort of do it this way. But so like I'm having to hold the mic in one hand and then use the mouse with the other hand. And when you're trying to copy and paste, it's more of it's a nuisance. So what I am going to do is take that there like that. I'm still holding the mic, but probably when I do the main copy and paste, that'll be when I yeah. All right, let's try it. I just realised at this point that we didn't get rid of everything before we like began the copy and paste process. So this is gonna be like the tough one. So like literally there, that's gotta end. That's gotta go. And then there was these as well that I never got rid of. And obviously I never got rid of all of this either. I think originally I wasn't gonna copy like in my mind I wasn't gonna copy like all the kicks and the claps because I thought they was already there, but I think like personally I probably should have done, but for whatever reason I didn't. So and that is I think that is it. I think I'm a I'm feeling slightly lost now as to where we are. Like I kind of feel like what have we actually done? Like it was supposed to be just this bit and then we've oh sugar. Yeah, I know exactly what that is. Right, we might have in theory. Do you know what we nearly did? But I kind of I know what's happened. That's quite funny. That's quite funny what we've done because that was the actual outro to the track, but we nearly lined it up by accident. So like it would have been as if the track carried on. That is apart from there we go. No, that still doesn't want to work for some reason. It's like right, let me put the mic down while I tend to sort this. Right, that should essentially do it. And then all I need to essentially do is put that there. So, because the vocal, I need to move that vocal though. So I'll just move that out of the way for now.
So tell me, how do you do? Finally, I meet you.
Next song like to
Right, right. We need to have a good skeg.
next song like
Right, so let's have a.
I meet you.
next song like to do.
Finally, I meet you.
Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
There we go.
Next song like to do. Next song like to do. Next song like to next song like to do. Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
There we go. We've got it. That was exactly.
Next song like to do. 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 Next song like to do.
You don't know what I've been.
Oh yeah, that's where we moved the vocal. That you don't know what I've been through. That is gonna come. Trust me. We'll be utilising that.
Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
What the? Oh yeah.
Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
What was it?
Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next song like to do. Next song like to do.
Right. And then what we need to do next is we need to go back to that very first section, which was here, where it had them bongo drums. So I'm sure I made the cut for them, but or at least I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. But what we're gonna do is everything from the bongo drums we're going to copy. But before we do that, because I don't want to overlap into like the other section of the track here, we're gonna take all these vocals, we're gonna highlight everything here, and we're just gonna essentially like move it just out of the way for now, because the thing is we can move it back, but like we need it out the way, because otherwise it's just gonna get in our way. So everything sort of from these bongo drums, where the bongo drums start, we need to make the cut. So everything there. So everything from the start of these bongo drums, which was here, yeah. So everything here No, sorry. My bad. So everything here. So everything. Well, right. I'm gonna put the mic down again.
Next song about to do. 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 Next song like to do.
The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level. The following tone is a reference tone, recorded at our operating level.
So there we go. And then what we're gonna do instead is I'm just gonna keep that little first vocal bit there, but this bit here, I believe it is. Yeah, I'll just get rid of that because I think that's what it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this bit come in now. So probably starting round about there it will, but we'll see. So this is gonna be it. So it all comes back in again. Have a listen.
Where do we go from here? Time ain't nothing but time. I now have no fear of my fears and no more tears to cry. Tomorrow means nothing at all if we don't hear the line. When today places its call and morning will never be the same. Now I won't make the same mistake time and time again.
But this time, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go straight into the chorus this time. So obviously it drops here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut right there because I know in the original like thingy mabobby, there's like literally in the original there's like there's like where it just goes time and time again for ages.
Be the same. Now I won't make the same mistake time and time again. So tell me, how do you do? Finally I meet you. You don't know what I
So obviously I've got to, like just time up a couple of the vocals still. But that is like that is a massive improvement. Like, wow. Like, it actually sounds really good as well. So, um, yeah. So all I've got to really do now is just time some of them vocals up, because it goes out a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm like a fraction. I'm like right close to the BPM, and it's just easier to like. It's a really like easy vocal to work with. Like you can chop it so easy, and you can move words so easy without sort of like ruining the tone. And so it's just easy to do it that way. Some vocals you can't chop, so you have to like really try and get like the right BPM, but it sounds really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the stream, and I'm gonna have a little play around with the vocals, and we'll call this part two. And then part three, I'll probably just show you like the near enough what I'll call the complete project, apart from sorting a few levels out, and then like once I've made a bounce track, I do things like so I put them onto my decks, and then I'll like mix them into like other tracks, and I'll just see like genuinely what they sound like, if it feels like it comes in too loud compared to other tracks. So I can just try and get a sort of estimate of like what other tracks sound like. So I can get like a good level, and just does it genuinely sound good in a bounce mix as well, or does it sound terrible? And then sometimes I put it on the decks, and I'll know like, oh, that melody sounds too loud, so I've got to turn it down. And then sometimes I'll know that something's a bit too low, so turn it up, or the vocals a bit loud or something. Sometimes you can just hear things that you don't hear on FL Studio, and it's really good to like put it onto other things, and then just sort of like, yeah, have a little bit of an experiment. So thank you all for watching. The track is really coming along. To think that yesterday afternoon it was just me watching a video at work about the sampling of Love Story, and now it's like it's coming together like really well. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you next time, and I'll show you obviously when I've done a bit more to the tune.